What's going on? I never stream live on YouTube. I just assumed I couldn't because I don't have a thousand subscribers, but I can apparently. So I'm gonna start doing this more often. I feel like every time I stream on Facebook, I don't know if my settings are wrong or what, but I always have to the Facebook video then re-upload it to YouTube. I always lose quality, video quality. It only be at like 260 or whatever size that is, 260 psi. So I think a lot of times, like I feel like I do put out good content, but the quality of the video is kind of sucky. So a lot of people just don't pay attention to what I put up because it looks janky. But hopefully it looks better here once this is all said and done. But when are black people going to realize that we are the away team? We shouldn't be. My bad. We shouldn't be, but we are the away team. And when you are the away team, you don't get the calls, or you don't get the advantage of the calls. That's just how it is. Whenever a black person is railroaded, whenever there's some type of injustice or some type of situation where we should have fair justice and we don't get it, it doesn't lean to our favor, it's because we are the away team. And as long as we continue to be the away team, this is how it's going to be. Now, I said this in another video that I uploaded earlier, so I don't want to keep like repeating the same thing. But to say that black folks, to say that we never win, or we never get the proper justice is just false, man. It's false. I truly believe that the media or the powers that be, whoever's controlling the majority of the information that is put out, they are better served by causing division. When people are divided and they're fighting amongst each other, and they're squabbling and there's civil war and people are going back and forth, you're too busy fighting with the next person to think about all the liberties and things of that nature that are being stripped from you. Because you just worried about, oh, this white person got off or this black person got off. Meanwhile, they're changing laws right under our eyes and right under our noses. And our focus and our energies isn't in the wrong place. And if everybody's acting chaotic and fighting each other, the people that are up at the top that are in power, they can make decisions and write laws and make decisions with no resistance because ain't nobody voting on it. We're too busy fighting and squabbling, so people got to make the decisions for us, which is unfortunate. But we are the away team. It's like every time like an injustice happens towards a black person, people are like, oh my God, how could this possibly happen? Why is this happening? It's because we are the away team. That's why it's happening. I love this analogy, but if Patrick Ewing is, in the 90s, late 80s, and to the late 90s or whatever, that's what Patrick Ewing's basketball career, mid 80s to late 90s. But anyway, Patrick Ewing in his prime in the mid 90s, he's playing against Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls in the United Center, and Patrick Ewing fouls out before the fourth quarter even began. You're like, oh my God, that's so unfair. How could this happen? Patrick Ewing is not going to get as many calls in the United Center because he is the away team. It's always like that. People tend to favor their own than visitors. The home team always gets more calls than the visiting team. So of course things are going to be more to the advantage of white people with the H, white people. Of course it's going to be like that. It's by design. That's nothing surprising. Instead of complaining and saying, oh my God, this is so bad. This is so bad. Why is it messed up? Do things in order to foster change. Whether it's vote, whether it's instead of trying to be like ball players and athletes and all this shit, which is nothing wrong with that. Try to get into politics, try to get into law enforcement. Or if you do become a rich ball player, athlete, entertainer, what have you, use your influence and your resources and put them behind the politicians and the people that you want to help foster the changes that you want. That's one solution. Solution number two, easy said and done, but just leave. Go back to Africa. Now, I don't really agree with that because I feel like black people built this country, so why the hell should we leave some shit that we built? I believe in the first one even more. We need to make ourselves extremely successful, financially successful, and form a collective. And then by doing that, we will have allies from other races or whatever. But yeah, the second one is just bounce. Go to a place that's more inviting and that's more open to accepting us. And from what I'm hearing, there are different places that you can get asylum in Africa and things of that nature, but we're so fragmented between black, light skin, dark skin, fat, skinny, male, female, gay, straight, Christian, Muslim. The one commonality we all have is black. We should, like, all those things should go out of the window. We should all focus on the same agenda. Because there's enough rich people like Jay-Z, Kanye, like, I forget what the meme was, but it was a meme where it had like Diddy was in it. I think Diddy, Kanye, let's say like Timberland, Dr. Dre, whoever, like just, it was a collection of highly influential and powerful brothers, entertainers and athletes and stuff like that in one meme. I think it was all entertainers. And they were worth over, excuse me, it was a few billion. I don't know the specific number. But just them alone, they can cause something and really stir something up. And they could just buy like a whole bunch of land. Like, it shouldn't be Tyler Perry just by himself buying a compound in Atlanta to shoot movies and stuff, which is awesome. That's a great thing. But it should be a collection of black people. Like, it's enough black people, it's enough rich black people that they could like probably buy the entire Texas, or like buy like the entire Alaska or some shit like that. Buy some land, buy like an entire island, or like a series of islands to serve as like, you know what, man, black people, man, we tired of this shit. We're tired of being the away team. We're tired of being shitted on. We got some of the most richest, powerful black people in America that have all pooled their resources and agreed to create their own sovereign land within this island that could hold 30 million people or whatever, or this region of wilderness that could hold this amount of people. But you know, it's one of those things that's like easier said than done. And then, quite frankly, some rich black people, they benefit by the system being this way. That's why they don't try to change. They've capitalized and they've gotten their come up because the system is the way that it is. So you got that too. But as long as we are the away team, when it comes to legal things and court and just the law, the judicial system in general, we're always going to be at a disadvantage. But just because you're the away team, just because you're at a disadvantage, it does not mean that you always gonna lose. Just because you are just because you're the New York Knicks and you got an away game in the United Center does not automatically mean that Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen is going to win. They've lost games. They've won a lot more games at home than they've lost, but they still can be beat. It's not like an indefensible thing. And also, don't put yourself in a position where you have to deal with the judicial system. I'm not saying it's always our fault, always individuals' fault when they go to court. Sometimes it's a self-defense situation or what have you. But a lot of times, man, people bring things on themselves. Any trouble that I got in with the law throughout my life is because I brought it on myself. Now, things could have went differently in the situations that I got rendered me having no type of static or trouble or anything like that. But you can't do something wrong or put yourself like in a wrong situation and then hope all things go right. You can hope that, but put it this way. Let me correct that. You can't put yourself in a suspect situation and then be surprised when it goes wrong. Murphy's Law states that whatever can possibly go wrong will go wrong, right? Why would you help add to Murphy's Law? Whatever could possibly go wrong will go wrong, especially if you purposely putting yourself in a bad, wrong situation. I don't want to use specifics or talk about any cases as far as like, you know, popular cases in the world, because I don't know, it just keeps the door open for like too many arguments, too many interpretations. Should he have been on this street? Shouldn't he have? Did he punch the clerk in the face and take some cigarillos, or didn't he? Was he jogging, or was he trying to get something stolen out of the neighborhood? Was he walking into town that was, you know what I'm saying? Like, all those things are open for interpretation. But 9 times out of 10, whenever you going through some shit with the law, man, 9 times out of 10, if you wouldn't have put yourself in a situation, you could have avoided it completely. Yes, there are innocents that go through certain things that they have no control over. Like the Bible says, unforeseen circumstances befall us all. But sometimes we put ourselves out there, having a couple drinks and smoking some weed and drinking and driving rather. You didn't intend to run a red light. You didn't intend to brake too late and rear end somebody. You didn't intend to swerve off the road. But you put yourself in a situation where that could potentially happen. Because he was smoking and driving, drinking and driving, what have you. Now you go into a rap concert and you get shot. And let me think of some hard-ass rappers that people always get amped up at, like fights break out. Like Onyx in his heyday, slam dancing and all that. You didn't intend to get into a fight. Damn, man, stop calling me. I'm trying to do the line. You didn't intend to get into a fight. You didn't intend to damn near get trampled. But you know, Onyx, especially like in the early 90s, was a rowdy rock and roll hip hop band. Like basically, there was a hip hop band with rock and roll rock star like slam dance. That their first song, like her hit single was Slam. You know what I'm saying? And you know that's their MO. You know that's how they get down. So if you put yourself in that position, that situation, there's a possibility that could happen. You didn't intend for it to happen. You didn't want it to happen, but you still put yourself in that atmosphere and environment. Anybody that were at Ferguson riots and Kenosha riots and all that, you didn't want it in a self-defense situation by Kyle Rittenhouse. You didn't want to get your own arm blown off. You didn't want to lose your life, but it's a riotous situation. You put yourself in that situation, there's the potential that might happen, man. But besides all that, because I'm done, I gotta run up and work. We are the away team. We're never gonna really get the calls the way we should until we start changing our focus, teaching our children to have certain values so they can change the society. Ultimately, it's about changing your kids, but you know, teaching our kids that are going to become millionaires and billionaires, if they can recognize our black children that we are the away team, maybe they'll get rich and they'll pick up where we failed and start, you know what I mean, like buying this land or buying these islands and fuck it. We everybody that wants to get the fuck away and just be to their own, we just get the fuck away and just be the fuck to our own. And that's all I had to say, man. I'll holler at y'all. Peace. This is YouTube. I don't know how to end this stuff. Okay.